Hello classmate, hello sir. Have a pleasant day to everyone. So before I start, let me introduce my name. I am Lisa Felicarte SSW2A. Today, I will going to recite my insight learning from Module 1 to 3. In Module 1, it's all about clinical practice within the social work domain. In term clinical social work has emerged in the social work vocabulary and literature in the past decade and seem to have become a euphemism or a synonym for social case work, treatment-oriented social group work, social treatment, and psychiatric social work, and last direct practice. So, as early as 1979, the National Association of Social Work or NASWE and the United States come up with a definition of clinical social work to encompasses involve the following. So first, it shares with all other social work practice. The goal of enhancement is to maintain a psychosocial functioning of individual families and a small group. Second, it is a professional application of social work theory and methods of treatment and prevention of psychosocial dysfunction, disability, and impairment of including emotional and mental disorder. Third, it based on knowledge of one or more theories of human development with psychosocial context. And it is a person and situation perspective that is central to clinical social work practice. So, ayon nga sa article ni Goldstein 1980 na title Knowledge Base of Clinical Social Work, point of that the core of knowledge necessary to clinical social work is not different from that informing all social work practice. It must represent knowledge of people and transaction with their environment in a way that does justice to the complexity of practice. Be aware that social work is a profession dependent on borrowed knowledge to form an integrative theory of human beings with their environment. So, ayon kay Goldstein 1980, yung mga hiram natin na knowledge ay human development, family and group processes, and the effect of group and individual on one another. The community and its internal process, modes of development and change, and social service and resources. Next, community theory, theory of social system and organization theory, theories that relate the individual to society, such as rule theory.
So now let's proceed to the module 2. It's all about the centrality of the person and situation perspective to clinical social work.
So kung nakikita niyo po dyan yung nilagay ko, at the center of the paradigm is the client. Around him are the primary group of which he is a part and have influence in his life and are currently important to him, such as his family, friends, work group, etc. He is also part of a large group termed secondary group, those that have specialized claim on certain part of his interests and labor, like his workplace, the school system, etc. Beyond his secondary group is the client's socio-cultural context, the ethics, heritage, and the societal order in which he lives. And beyond this are the physical environment and historical age in which he lives. Since a study of any human problem or challenge should consider this factor, person, his primary group, secondary, socio-cultural context, physical environment, and time. In certain cases, some factors are more relevant and more useful than other in helping context. As helping profession, we should check out of each new situation to see which of the factor is important in the case. we do not only attend to the problem and hand back in doing so. We take into account the different elements of the social situation affecting our client's social functioning, the importance of identifying and analyzing the configuration of strength and limitation of the client system by the application of the core professional condition of warm respect, accurate empathy. Pag sinabi nating person and situation environment, the client situation is made up or both objective external and subjective internal elements. Kapag sinabing an external element refers to actual situation which has an objective quality and is defined by such variables as physical characteristic of a client, place, socio-cultural factors, and overt or obvious behavior which can be observed and validated by others. By contrast, the internal element refers to perceived situation which is subjectively perceived, interpreted, and constructed in the mind of the individual or client. Next, let's discuss the concept or idea of social functioning. A social worker who seek to enhance the social functioning of people or help them deal with their problems in social functioning. So, kung nakikita niyo po dyan yung nilagay ko, Skidmore Social Functioning Triangle Explanation. As people perform various roles, this role influence their relationship with others and their own feelings about themselves. At the same time, positive or negative relationship with others may affect role performance and feeling of self-worth. People's feelings about themselves may influence the way of perform the rules and the way of they relate with others. So, kung nakikita niyo po yung table na nilagay ko dyan, so Horace 1976 presented social functioning as a formula showing the relationship among three factors: the motivation, capacity, and the opportunity, and their effect on functioning. So now, let's proceed to the module 3. Module 3 is, it's all about helping relationship. So, caring and professional helping, practitioners are faced with a constant challenge of separating the personal from professional rules and responses. Delicate balance is expected of us who are helping to be responsive to client by active and creative use of our feelings, thoughts, intention, and motive, yet without letting them intrude or interfere in our ability to understand and help them. Since we can react only from what is within ourselves, we must know ourselves so that our capacity for being in a relationship is increased, our ability to react consciously is intensified, and we are prefer to make deliberate choice about how to respond to clients. It is possible to be turned into the feelings of others without first being thought of our own. We must understand, rein, and resolve as present conflict and problems so that they do not interpose themselves in our functioning with clients. So, the practitioner, self-monitoring. So, self-understanding is not just a product or outcome that can be completed and then set aside. Rather, it is ongoing and a lifelong process through which you grow personally and professionally. As a social workers, we need to understand of who you are, how you present yourself, how you appear to others, and mannerism you commonly exhibit, the issue that cause you anxiety, or so kapag sinabi naman natin the purpose of clinical practice, Ito ay assisting individual and family through the helping relationship to make changes and adjustments in connection with crisis and life transition in such a way as to ensure growth, independence, and self-interaction. So, kapag sinabi naman natin working alliance in clinical social work practice, ayun nga kay the hallmark of the profession relationship in clinical social work is that it is a purposeful and goal-directed. Sari 1986 elaborate the idea of a working alliance is having the connotations of an agreement between two or more person as to the role each is to play. So that's all. Thank you for listening.